Okay, we are being recorded.
Okay, perfect. Alright, well then, wait on Sophie to get back and we'll get started.
Wow. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Wah wah. I'm not in Roll20 yet. Oops. We're just sitting here in Discord, hanging out, having a great time.
Yeah.
No idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just so pleased to be here.
I'm back.
Welcome.
Alright.
God damn, where's Rabbit?
Whoa!
Someone help me, where's my character sheet? Ah!
Go stupid, go crazy. Ah!
Alright, well.
I'm playing as Vizinoth today, I guess. Oh, there's my character sheet.
Well then, as...
Great.
As the day starts like any other, dark storm clouds gather overhead, casting the streets into a dim and somber light. But like every morning, despite this rain, the town is alive with activity. Merchants hurrying their goods under awnings into doorways, goblins kind of very hastily putting up tarps. People are scurrying along the streets, those jotting between awning to shelter themselves from the downpour. You guys awaken to the sound of raindrops hitting the rooftops and pavements as it fills the air with the occasional rolling crackle of thunder in the atmosphere. The open windows, the scent of wet earth and freshly fallen rain permeates off the street and into your nostrils as each of you awaken. The town lit with various lights and glow from the shops and inns, the taverns, and inns are particularly lively as you, even despite all the rain, you can still hear laughter and loud cheering across the roads, and despite the inclement weather kind of downtrodden everything, there's still the smell of fresh bread and roasting meats that waft from the food district. In this time, as we discussed, this week that had passed by, few things were built and assembled by Ataru. That being fixated on your sword, allowing it to switch between two canisters of contained magic. You're able to make a wrought iron greatsword for Sock. Right, was it for Sock?
Eh?
No, it's for hold.
For Hold.
Yeah, he wanted to do great swords. And he didn't have a weapon for himself anymore after the change, so
Okay.
I would focus on his stuff first.
Then after that, over the week of processing, what else would you guys have done with the exclusion of Rev? As we'll get to that in a minute.
Speckle was gonna take 2 days to make or to modify Sock's dragon longsword.
Modify it to what now?
Ah, he's like, do whatever. Take my longsword.
Hmm. Okay. All right. All right, it is adjusted. She hands it back to you, and there's a bit more flair to it overall, but other than that, for the rest of the week, is in relative peacefulness. Rev, while you were on your journeys, with the hint and aids of Altest, you're able to acquire the various objects needed, that being a branch from the impaling tree via a bit of haggling and sneakery. You're able to make it to Razor Crest Keep.
Hell yeah.
In order to speak with Professor Caldwell, who, after a few brief exchanges, he is able to provide for you a large,
Excuse me. Sorry.
crystalline structure about the size of a refrigerator, strapped to a wagon, and gives it to you after a few days of bit of banter before sending you on your way via the teleportation gates. However, it is under the favor on your end to take care of his little protege. She only refers to as Little Brat. A small Kenku of diminished size, but tends to keep to themselves for the time being. But you eventually arrive back home, wagon and all, from the Adventurers Hall with this large crystal. The
Hell yeah.
kind of magics that emanate off of it cause the other teleportation circles to flicker in and out of power. The lights dim and flames even occasionally seem to snuff out. Your presence and arrival is made very clear upon entering, as almost the ground itself seems to shake in the presence of this crystal going through the teleportation circle. And as you arrive, various people are kind of raised eyebrows, as you are the only person you've seen so far to ever exit a portal with a cart and contents inside. But kind of with a brief moment, you flick the reins and slowly start making your way out as people begin kind of clearing out of your way as you make your way through the halls of the Adventurers Guild, down the stairs not meant for wagons. As it bounces and it creaks, the crystal kind of shifting in and on itself. But you make your way I suppose back homewards.
Yeah.
Okay. As the rest of you,
Well, I mean, he might not take the crystal home. He might go toward like Brightthorn's area first to drop that off.
okay.
Now that I think about it, I don't think he would want that. He sort of rode off in the middle of the night to make sure that that crystal was still secret. So.
Okay. Well, as you make your way to Brightthorn's
secret,
area, the idea of secret has long since left. As you ride through, it almost seems to give off a resonance that shakes buildings, creaks wood. The gravel on the ground kind of vibrates and churns as you see little ripples of just boom. As you move through, lights are being extinguished, and as you kind of turn back to kind of check on it, you see that there's almost a invisible kind of barrier that kind of pushes the rain aside, kind of keeping almost this invisible barrier that you're seeing the rain kind of just not splash against, but almost part ways, as if it's convincing the rain to warp around it.
It's gravity.
Before making your way finally to the Brightthorn area, you see various plants and fruit kind of wither and dry as it makes its way past. Things are kind of, branches and limbs are being kind of pushed away as if the object itself around the crystal is almost forcing its way through, as if once again there is some sort of convincing force pushing all the objects aside, this invisible outward force, for making it back to the center where Mayfair.
Does it push people around? Am I having to like be careful of that, mindful of that?
It's people are kind of stepping aside, but any druids that do want too close, it almost seems as if they're kind of like tumbling backwards. Like, oh. Eventually, you make your way to them. Mayfair steps out and says, "Ah, this is indeed a incredibly large, but it will do. It will do so nicely."
He's not too big, is it?
No, of course not. It should serve as a fine vessel and a conduit for what we need.
Perfect. Do you know about how long the preparations will take?
Maybe that of only a day. We will let the goblins and the others know that the time is almost correct. And with that, we can begin. But give us a little under a day, perhaps a night or so, and we should be ready.
Perfect. Okay, well, I will see you in roughly a day or so. And he heads home.
Okay. And with that, you leave the crystal in their care. And you head home. As you guys are kind of in your midday, you hear the door open to see that Rev has arrived. Or Rev is entering the house.
And what is my new companion's name? Or is he already here?
I will say they wandered off for the time being.
Okay.
You assume that they have business to acquire.
Gotcha. Hello everyone.
Oh, right.
How are you all doing?
You're finally back. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's I
Where
mean,
have you
it's
been?
only like a week, but like, yeah, you just like disappeared, and we were like, what the fuck? Where'd you go?
I've been around. Where
You
have you
haven't.
guys been?
You specifically have not been
Yeah.
around. You've been away.
This is like semantics.
But it's been good. Been busy. Made a sword. Made another sword for Hold.
Did you
That's
make
all I
a
was
third
gonna-
sword?
I was going to, but I didn't have time. Do you know how hard it is to make swords out of these materials in a week? I made 2 swords. One very complicated. See, look, she'll like flip a dial on the sword, then it's wrapped electricity. Flip another dial, it's fucking fire. See all this? This
No,
is very
this
hard to
doesn't
do.
complicated.
I did this in a week, and then I also made a sword out of that giant fucking nail.
Wow. Asok, what did you make?
I've been hyper focused and not eating.
I made some dinner yesterday.
Nice.
It wasn't good, but it was filling.
Why don't you make dinner next
You
time?
specifically called it Soldier Girl.
That's because that's what it is.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not gonna call oatmeal something other than oatmeal. You know, if soldier gruel's, that's what it is. It has it has everything that you could possibly need for nutrients and
I
strength.
get that. I understand. I appreciate the nutritional value. But I'm just saying, you should not be surprised that someone who grew up with a literal silver spoon in her mouth is not exactly palately satisfied by Soldier Girl.
Base.
What the?
During the
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
conversation, Holt just slides like a full course meal in front of Ataru while they're talking in front of everybody.
Yes.
Is this soldier gruel? Is this like just boiled meats or what?
What?
What was that? Sorry.
It's a soldier gruel. Is this just like a boiled meat or what?
It's got
What's in
some
the
salted
gruel?
meat, but I mean, meat is kind of hard to keep and hard to keep well, so it's largely plant-based proteins and carbs.
Oh, so it is more of a, because when I think when a soldier says like a balanced meal, I tend to think that what they mean is just like a leg.
No, I mean, if you think about how much, armies are rather large, usually, and that would be a lot of animals killed regularly for every soldier to get a leg of something.
Well, but each animal has 4 legs, so you only need like
Well, sure, but I
like
mean,
3
what if
times as
someone
many
wants
animals.
more than one leg? I mean, it's a lot easier to carry just about like a huge bag of lentils and beans and rice.
This is a good point.
Or some grains.
Did you take anything from my farm in the back? I've got some crops back there.
No, largely
look at
because
you.
I
Less of a
didn't-
farm, more of just like a little patch, but still.
it was yours, and I didn't know what you were doing with it, so I left it.
Is your assumptions that I would eat it?
I don't know why you would grow it. You didn't make that necessarily clear.
It's a farm for the people.
I thought it was just like a hobby. Oh.
Well, it's a hobby, but it's a hobby that has some benefits, like having things to eat.
Oh. Okay. Our bad. We should have. Yeah.
Various herbs and tomatoes and stuff.
I mean, I assumed that was the cooking. I've been using that. I mean, some of it's in the dish I prepared today.
Oh, so we have been using it. Okay.
Okay, well, at least someone's using it.
Well, I
You know me,
remember you
I don't-
mentioning it before.
This is good. This is good.
I miss the barbecue.
I do too. Although that
I
was
miss the
mostly for
brisket.
rats.
I kind of miss the rats.
I miss the rats too. I miss Cecil.
I couldn't speak to them, but I felt a camaraderie with them. I do miss Cecil too.
The camaraderie with
The rats.
the rats.
Anyway,
This is relatable.
now that you're back, we should
Yes, the plan. What are we doing?
talk about things.
You've been very hush-hush about the whole dealio. I've just been trying to prepare, but like, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm just sort of just working on some stuff.
You're still not gonna tell us. Okay.
Listen, Rev, I feel like ever since you became an archmage, you've kind of been more inclined to do your own agenda. I'm just wondering, like, do you still want to be part of this group?
Oh yes, yes. There is some mage things, and it's all complicated, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around, let alone explain. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm sort of a simple guy, and I don't really have the wherewithal to keep all this information in a easily compressed zip folder I can hand to you all. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I did travel and
broad
meet
strokes?
with. I did travel and meet with a. Oh, I can't remember his name right now. But a man who wanted to train me in my archmage ways, and it was
You were talking about?
yes, and it was a fruitful meeting. I don't think I'm necessarily the #1 archmage on the block yet, but it was good progress,
Oh, that's good.
and I think it will aid us very well in our efforts against that bitch.
Well, I think I might just be speaking for myself, but since we are kind of a team, if you need any help, I'm sure that we'd all love to help you. Sometimes it might be helpful to know like kind of what the plan is so that we can help, but obviously.
Would you like to see some of my cool new archmaginess? Would that help you?
Yes, I mean, I just don't really know like kind of what's going on, so I don't know necessarily how I could help and how we can, we talked briefly about kind of merging projects together, at least with these like the Dark Boss and helping out Ataru's family and whatnot, and army raising and stuff. I'm just trying to wrap my head around like how we can formulate a plan with all these moving pieces.
You said you had like a plan to get us, a force to, deal with the issue on the islands.
Yes.
And so kind of, not to like rush you or be hounding, but like, what is the plan on that front?
The plan is I am working with the Dark Boss on the plan.
That tells me absolutely
It's not
nothing. I have no
it's
way
not
to
like
work.
it's not like deeply rooted yet.
So there's no plan.
From another word,
There is
that's
a-
what it sounds like.
I
It sounds like
thought-
there's a plan, but it's not set in stone, so really there is no plan.
Okay, so for
It's
the last
planned.
week, you've been preparing for whatever plan you said you had, and you disappeared
Right.
for a week, what we thought was working on that plan. So you're telling me that we've done absolutely nothing but sit here for the past week while you still have the inklings of a plan, the exact opposite of what you said. Am I getting this correct?
No.
Please explain it to me in a way that I can understand and that I won't freak out about, okay?
Yes. We will have an army in the next 24 hours.
You know what? Because you're being cagey with the details, I won't ask how.
The
I
army is
will.
currently
Where's this army gonna stay?
that I'm-
How
just that
are
I'm
they gonna be
skeptical.
fed?
is on its way.
Okay.
There's like a lot of like forest and stuff. There's been armies staged at Newtonsfall before. Probably just like some camps or something outside, you know?
Rev, I understand the importance of, keeping secrets. But
This
to be
is
honest,
this is
I
the
am
thing.
lost. I understand we're getting an army, but I would personally like to know how. The last time we heard of an army, it just did not. It just appeared out of nowhere, and it was very confusing.
Right. I just do not want to reveal the things that I'm not supposed to reveal. But I'm working with the Dark Boss, and we will have an army today.
Were you sworn
Or
by
tomorrow.
secrecy?
It's less of a swear, more of like a little promise, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Less of a
Then
swear and more of like a gentleman's agreement.
Okay, well,
Then I have your trust then.
Okay, so there's an army. Do we know how we're getting that army to the islands? Who's going to be in charge, of, how, let's think of a plan. Let's just assume that there's going to be an army, yes? So,
Yes.
how are we going to get that army to the islands? Do we have that also set up? Is that also part of your plan? Does the army come with transportation, or is that something that we need to be providing? And if so, what kind of transportation does this army require? Do they are they huge? Are they small? Or is it a rat army? Is it a giant army?
I thought we nixed the rat army idea.
Well, pretty much if we need to come up with transportation, then we need to know what roughly we're transporting.
Well, maybe we should talk to the army tomorrow then, when they get here.
As long as it's not the Elvish Inquisition, I am perfectly okay with this army.
What do you have against the Inquisition?
Have you not met
Big fan
them?
of Inquisitions?
No, I have not. I have not been far enough south to meet, the whole elven things.
Then just trust my word on it.
Okay.
It's not worth being around that sort of headache.
I mean, I like their food.
The food is good, yes, but then it comes down to the point of them always saying, no one expects the Elvish Inquisition, and next thing you know, Rev is dead because they don't like people like that.
Okay, well,
Yeah, because I'm very bad at expecting
I-
things.
I actually wouldn't expect
Because
that.
you're an abnormal creature.
Wait, do I count as an abnormal creature?
No,
Here?
I
Yes.
forget, you're... Oh, yes, you are Oni. I don't know how they treat with Onis.
Mm.
I know I've gotten to fights with them before, but it's only because we get into a drunken feud.
okay, but okay.
I think Oni or no Oni, you're pretty strange.
We're getting sidetracked. We need to talk about this plan.
But with a cute smile on his face, you know what I mean? He's like a little goofball about that.
Does Rev have a mouth? I thought he didn't have a mouth.
He has a mouth.
Oh, he does? Okay.
You think you just hear him just
Yeah, I thought it was just
in your head?
Yeah, I don't know what
It
I
just has, the perma-pog mouth, just...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, whenever I see the little drawings of him, it's just the eyes, and then so I was just it's just one of those things where it's just a voice projects, and it's whatever.
I thought Lindsay drew him smiling one time when he was on the date.
Oh, maybe.
yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, he had one of those little D faces.
Oh, I think the picture I'm thinking of has you in a hood of some kind.
Yeah, that's fair. But yes,
Oh, it
we'll go
does.
with Rev has a mouse. A mouse?
No.
A mouse.
A mouse.
A mouse.
Okay.
And a rat as well.
That reminded me, I think last session I was saying over the week, I forgot. I'm not remembering every detail on why I was going to go talk to them, but I was going to go talk to Tippities about something involving with the attack on that bitch. I don't know if I was going to ask for, see if she would join us or anything. I don't know if you remember anything about that, Kappa.
No.
Shit.
I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, I was going to go talk to her over the week.
I would say then, kind of the same thing we do with everything else. You go to speak with her, and she tells you a bit of what you've already heard, but also how she doesn't really want to get involved just yet, as it would be a death sentence, at least for her.
And that's understandable, but I would still like let her know. Well, if you do ever want to help us in the endeavor, if you have any magic that could help us, just let us know.
Okay. She tells you that she understands and is willing to help as long as she can guarantee her own safety.
And then he'll keep that in mind, and I'll think about ways to look for that, but I'll think about that on my drive, so it'll probably come when I get back to my apartment.
Okay. Well, with that going on, what is everyone doing for the night? Or for the rest of the day into the night? As the only thing with a time limit is Rev's accoutrement. However, in exactly 4 days, as you guys have been tracking, exactly 4 days is the coming of the full moon.
I would say Hold is probably going to go to the fighting pits. We don't have to roleplay it out, but it's just for him to kind of get a handle on his new strength.
Okay.
I would have also have given you your new sword. The giant wrought iron greatsword.
Kappa, do you mind adding that into my sheet for me?
Sure.
I have no idea what it does mechanically. I was just told that I had made it.
And then
Hit sword.
well, when he goes to the fighting pits, he's just going to use his fist just to get used to like the strength like that, and then eventually, probably like the next day, he'll actually test out the sword.
Hell yeah.
Also, did we ever agree on what the mithril fucking element sword does mechanically? Is it just gonna be like that artificer spell, or was it like the elemental sword that is like upgradable that we talked about? I don't
think
know.
the elemental sword that's upgradable.
Okay. And which elements do I have right now? You said 2.
Yes, I believe, according to what you wanted, it was fire and you had in your bio, you wanted...
Yeah, I went with fire,
and
cold.
lightning.
Yeah, I went with fire, lightning, and cold, but if I only get 2, then probably fire and lightning.
Okay. Alright, let me pee before I go on to the next part, because I just drank this whole smoothie.
Whole smoothie? Sheesh.
While Kappa's doing that, do you guys mind giving me a little recap of what I missed at the beginning of the session? Because then I heard about a crystal that Rev was holding, and I had no idea where that was from.
Yeah, we kind of fast forwarded through the Rev being gone for a week sort of thing, because that'd be really boring to roleplay with everyone here. Rev went with and met with the wizard who was going to what's it called? Help him kind of flesh out his archmaginess, and also, quote unquote, unbeknownst to the party, was meeting with him to work on procuring an extremely large arcane focus. And so Rev came back with an assistant of the wizards, and dropped off the arcane focus with the druids. And then Sak and Ataru were talking about bad breakfasts.
Yeah, I came in during that, and then for the sound of it, Ataru made the sword.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, what did Sak do over the week?
He got a customized sword from Speckle.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay, so it was just a recap. It was just like a sped up version of everything we decided we were going to do last session.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Sock's probably gonna read more of that big book. He has 30 hours left.
We'll say then put
Grab
3
a-
more hours on that book.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We'll say +1. Otaro. Alright, with 3 hours on that book, the night dwells on. After practicing in the fighting pits, you feel adjusted. After about a week or so, and with a final night in the fighting pits, you feel adjusted. The reach makes sense. There's a little elongation in your bones, but the depth and the feel of everything, you do not feel as clumsy or clambering around, and it's starting to acclimate and become your own. That being said, in the night, as everyone lays to their resting positions, Rev, you in your basement hear small tapping on the window.
I think, just real quick, as the night was winding down, he probably would have like written a letter and kind of just left it in the basement somewhere.
Okay.
So he responds to this rapping. Just kind of goes and checks it out.
As you kind of go to check it out, outside, you see kind of cloaked in a kind of dark robe, a dark cloak, and away from all the lights of the house, tucked away, is a single lone goblin. You look and you find that it is your secret agent friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
He calls you over, he says, "It's time. Head to the markets."
So soon?
It is. Head to the markets and meet us at the amphitheater beneath.
Are you coming?
I have other things I must prepare for. And as he
Okay.
does, he kind of wanders off before clumsily, like, knocking over a trash can, stumbling. I was like, "Oh, God." And he kind of looks back at you and gives a reaffirming nod, like, before running off again.
Yeah, I guess Rev starts making his way downtown, walking back, you know? Unless that gets us copyright stricken, in which case, not that.
Probably the music, if anything, would copyright it, but
As you mumbling a song would get us taken off of YouTube.
as you scamper off, you run to the amphitheater where things are being kind of set up deep underneath Gob's Co. But in the midst of all this, just before you left, with the clamoring of the trash can, Ataru, with your passive perception, you wake up in a clamber. Huh!
Sorry, I was writing down the mechanical aspects of this. What did I wake up to?
A clamber in the alleyway. Upon looking, you see a goblin run off in an opposite direction, and Rev skulk away in secret.
Oh, that was probably meeting with like the little like dark bosses thing, right? And I'll just kind of calm down my nerves of like alarm and just be like, he's just dealing with the plan, and I will go about my day. I trust Riv.
Okay. Then, Rev, you head down to the amphitheater. There, you are kind of met in almost a stadium-esque seating arrangement. As a stadium-esque seating arrangement, as there's a large kind of crowd around the outside as well as down in the center. There are about, I would say, 10 rows of 100 goblins just kind of blindfolded and restrained on their knees, kind of waiting there. This music a little too happy.
That's fair.
Yeah. And we'll go with this.
Doing something for me for a change was getting my education, so I decided that Purdue
Yeah, girl.
is the way to go.
Okay. You were led to the front where, kind of being pulled out on the same cart, but now rather on its side is erect, the large catalyst crystal. There you see the various agents and kobolds kind of standing in a row, the various masked goblins. And seated on a central chair on a podium is the Dark Boss herself. Upon approach, each of them nod to greet you before stepping out from the shadows. It's none other than Mayfair.
Mayfair the Wayfair.
You've arrived, and all is set in play. You've taken the other items, a branch from the impaling tree, to use as the rod of dominion, as well as the catalyst, to hold our collective magics here. And as she kind of removes the veil from it, you see that what was once a clear, almost glass-like transparent crystal now has this verdant, almost swirling liquid that's kind of suspended in there, not filled like that of a vial, but as if moving and flowing, as if unseen forces are pushing this air-like liquid. Every so often, a little burst of a bubble will pop, and it'll bounce around all the different sides of the inner prism before resting again, and then eventually repeating the process. You can sense an magic kind of emanating off of it, practically oozing out and touching your various senses. Even with your Woden form, the bark curls and creaks, even standing so close to it. But your attention is drawn outwards, towards the 1,000 goblins awaiting there. Mayfair kind of ushers with her hands, says, "And we have done our part. 1,000 volunteers, as the various goblins have very specifically told me, but they are ready for transfiguration."
These volunteers, I guess I better not ask questions. This does not look very volunteering, you know? But,
A kobold stands up in the back and says, "Do not worry, Rev. They are all volunteers, but after a description from Mayfair, we were concerned that movement and reactions from them could addle the process. And so, for their own safety and the safety of the success of this ritual, we have bound and gagged them. But they have all gone above and beyond the duties of the Union, as the goblins have proclaimed, and they are ready.
Yes, okay, well, this is perfect then.
Very well. Mayfair kind of claps her hands with glee. Perfect. Now, we did have to do a bit of reading, and we kind of scrolled through the various texts of ancient lore, as you were a bit of the key to it. But I believe we were able to create a bit of the old magics that unfortunately cursed you, Rev. She puts a calm hand on your shoulder. Think of this. We're turning a dark curse into a great blessing now.
Is there any chance that after this is done, we could maybe destroy these reading materials?
She nods her head and she says, yes. Most definitely. Believe me, Rev, most of our ancient texts are ways of old, and most druids learn through word of mouth, carried from beak to snout, from snout to ears, and from ears to words. And I promise you that this ritual will end at these lips.
Well, thank you. What do I need to do? Just stand here looking handsome, or?
Well, Rev, last bit of it involves this rod of dominion as she holds out to you this large, kind of spindly, spiny kind of tree branch that looks like a rough, jagged thorn with like a large spear with other smaller thorns staking off from it. You're able to hold it in both your hands as she kind of holds it out to you, tip first. She says, when I tell you the magics are activated, you're going to hold that rod and simply pierce your wooden skin. And the rest will take place. After that, these goblins will be transformed, and you will lead them. And we can begin our great assault.
Perfect. Great.
Yes. They will be empowered by your anti-magics. Therefore, be the perfect assault team to lead the fight against the Archmages. And with a flick of her hand, kind of you watch as various condensations, various sweat on people begin to freeze over. Some people kind of shake it off themselves. The ground frosts over in this white permafrost. And the crystal behind you begins to hum an insidious low note. The magics begin to swirl around, and that inky, kind of verdant magic that was swirling starts to bubble and almost ooze out in this vaporous form from the crystal. Mayfair, using various semantic hand signs, almost ushering it out, kind of drawing it, luring it out as if it were a creature, before a almost serpentine-like shape of vapor starts to wrap around you, wrap around your feet, and spiral upwards before beginning to get sucked into the back of the impaling tree's spine. The same spine that you are holding there, before a soft whisper in the back of your ears, in the back of your mind and presence says, "It is time, Rev. Pierce thy skin."
He does so.
With a quick jaunt, you puncture it in, and it feels briskly painful at first. Despite them both being of wood, the impaling tree's wood splits you like a metal nail into it. You feel nothing at first, but a cold chill wash over you. A relaxation that kind of draws heavy on your eyes. And you start to kind of feel an odd numbing sensation before you start to hear little coughs and cackles. As you awaken to your senses, you see the goblin's forms, bound and gagged, twisting and writhing. A grotesque scene unfolds before your very eyes, one that reminds you back to the same night over thousands of years ago. You watch as their bones break and creak. Roots and spindles pierce from flesh underneath. Tree limbs and roots began expanding out as the stretching and tearing of flesh, the puncturing of lungs and throats. Eyeballs being pushed out of sockets by this growth and expanse of woad and wood. The cackling and screaming, the crunching of flesh, deafeningly so, before silence. Only the soft stretches and creaks of wood as it settles into place. You feel a dizziness as you fall back before a cold hand touches your spine. You feel the impaling tree's spire plucked from you, and almost like a guiding hand, this new firm grasp grips over your hand around the rod-like spire and helps you lift it up before you hear a collective stomp, like that of a marching army. Your eyes, with this faded, glossed over feel, looks out, and you see 1,000 ewes, 1,000 little revs staring back at you. With an almost primal urge, instinctual, you raise the rod, and they snap to attention. You move the rod to the side, and with a quick shuffle and a snap, single step back to attention. You no longer feel the presence of Mayfair, almost consumed and absorbed by this newfound command. Yet a single kind of insidiously slipping whisper says it is time. Lead them, Rev. Lead them to Darkhold. And almost as if moving on your own, you feel ordained to move the rod. With a quick swish and flick of your hand, they turn and they march forward. You feel almost suddenly being lifted up as you are placed upon like a pedestal, a rickshaw even. And you're brought over to a armored war horse before being set down. The goblins of the various households, the kobolds of the various agents, lifting you and propping you up. You feel almost in a daze, as if on autopilot. Slowly, as if crawling out of a mind fog. Buildings are slid out of the way on tracks. Cobblestones are realigned by magic. It feels as if all the structures of the entirety of Gobsco is realigning itself. The town built to move and allow a single lane to open up before a set of stairs. You watch as your marching army with you in the vanguard march up the stairs, realigning itself, various scaffolding and cobblestone magically reforming before the ground itself above you opens up. As this is happening, you realize that almost the entirety of the marketplace has just been split open and slid apart like two bomb shelter doors as they and your army begin marching upwards and outwards. Lights begin flickering on in various shops and various houses as people start kind of blurry-eyed, night-capped, candles start looking outside going, what in the world? Jaws dropping to the floor. With a loud commotion, the screeching of cobblestone, Sugma House, you feel this rumbling as if the earth itself is moving. So great that it feels as if an earthquake, small but mighty, shakes the very foundation of the house. You guys stumble out of bed. What is everyone doing as this commotion is coming from the marketplace?
Don't tell me we're under attack again.
Hold on, guys. There might be enough. Everyone out of the house. Ataru, hold.
I'm
You
awake.
feeling this? Are you awake? Okay.
Yeah, don't tell me we're under attack again.
I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna look out the front door.
As you look out the front door, you see a plethora of lights and smoke. Not the chaos of a siege, but there's definitely commotion coming from the center of town, kind of now at this point by the park. You see a commotion of various torches and people in a group kind of moving with some sort of large mass.
There's
In the midst
something
of it
going
all,
on.
you do see war banners of a symbol and a sigil you do not recognize.
Y'all should come see this.
What is it? Oh. Does that war banner look familiar to you at all? Because I've never seen that, and that.
I've never seen that before. Is this the army?
There's only one way to find out, yes?
Where's Ataru?
I do not know. Ataru!
You're muted.
Raven might have stepped away.
Raven.
I think says she's pooping.
Rip.
Probably dropping fat shits.
Old's dropping a fat shit after seeing all this. He's just like, oh, I was peacefully asleep, and now it's like, oh, boom, there's an army in the middle of the city.
All right, well, as
I was
you
dropping
approach.
that shit, and Ataru's freaking the fuck out.
As you approach, you see the sigil is that of a red background, red field behind it, and a black leafless tree. Moving forward, you see the constant and rhythmic cadence of marching feet as this small army of, to your surprise, Woden creatures, gnarled and nasty. Each of them have a snarled face like that of reminiscent of the Japanese Tengu as they step forward in a sickly imperial cadence. There, you see, on the war horse, holding a rod of dominion, leading them, none other than Rev.
Whip it on me.
Okay, Rev, I got why you were so cagey about the details. Are you sure about this? Did
I thought
aren't you
thought
like?
you were cursed.
Didn't you also like hate what did this to you? What the? I'm so confused.
Are they close to me?
They are on the side, kind of yelling out to you, but there's about 3 rows of
Where are you
wogans in
going?
between.
I'm not gonna yell, but Rev would just not Rev. Holdador would yell at the top of his lungs, just Rev.
Rev, in the blurry fog of your mind, you Rev. Having to almost desperately focus on what's being called out, you realize just in the corner of your eyes, it is indeed your friends.
I think he turns to face them and sort of gives them a reassuring wave before sort of enforcing that side with more woads.
Okay.
What?
Hold, as you call and step out, a few of the woads break off and kind of form a riot line to prevent the crowd from pushing forward. Marching onwards, the army pushes forward.
What? Where are they going? What is going on?
And he's not okay, let's just meet him outside the city then if we can't get to him in here.
Okay.
Let's go grab our stuff, I guess. I guess we're going now.
Apparently, glad I already have my stuff on because I was ready to fight.
Okay. As you run back to grab your stuff and run out, you are able to catch them as they are making their way out the street. There, you're able to catch the scene where none other than calling from the side is Isaiah, fighting her way through various woads, being taller than them, stepping over them, but Rev, in a clouded mind, you simply push forward. Stepping to, at one point, you turn to see her, but yet clouded. All you can see now is Vestris in the dark hold. And a simple whisper in the back of your mind says, "This is for her safety." Woads push away Isaiah before shoving her to the ground, just as the rest of you catch up. Rev turns back to face forward, and as soon as the marching army exits through the gates, you watch as they begin to, within a few moments, sink into the ground, the earth churning, roots gnarled up, trees begin growing, and with that, they are gone.
Guys, I don't think Rev is in his right mind.
Holt goes and helps Isaiah off the ground. Sorry, we don't know what's going on with him either. He wouldn't even want to talk to us.
Do you know what happened? Like, do you know what he was doing?
I think Isaiah says, she rears back and starts kind of weakly beating on Hold's giant chest. And she says, What did y'all do to him? What happened?
Nothing.
Didn't do anything.
We didn't know what's happening.
Yeah,
He was mentioning about raising an army, and he was working with the Dark Boss, but besides that, he wasn't telling us any details.
You're his friends.
Yeah, and we trusted him to handle himself. We didn't.
He said that there was an army coming and that we would meet him, or we would meet them in the morning. And next thing we know, this.
We never expected him to do anything like this. He's talked about how much he hates his curse. To do something like this was the last thing we expected of him.
Where is he even going?
My best guess, what the army was for originally. To go take out Vestris, yes?
Probably marching on Darkbreach, yeah, that makes sense.
I would guess.
We should
He
go
didn't
to-
seem himself.
No, he didn't. This is very out of character for him. I don't know what's up with him. He didn't tell us anything about who he was meeting with, right? We don't know about the Wayfarer Wanderers. We don't know about anything
Nope.
in the Twinkling Grove. Nope. Fuck.
We just knew that he was getting an army and that it was someone
All we
involved
knew
in the
is
Dark
that-
Boss.
And
Yeah,
the
he
Dark
was
Boss,
dealing
yeah.
with- We, I think, need to talk to this dark boss.
Yes, we do. Were we ever told who it was?
I think he did tell you.
Kappa, can you roll me insight to see if it's clear to see that? Actually, no. Roll Arcana to try and see if I can figure out if he's under some sort of spell. Rev, when I was looking at him.
I would say that would still be insight.
Okay, then roll insight then for me, please.
Ooh, nat 20!
Damn.
Hey, yo, Chris, you need to roll my shit more often.
I would say there's definitely something that is not right with Rev. It doesn't feel like this would be the action he would take, as it seems so extreme. But you also feel a lot of confusion as how it got to this.
I understand getting the army, but for being so direct, that seems way out of his character. Doesn't seem like how he normally behaves in these situations.
No, I mean, it's literally going against what he was saying. He was saying, like, once we meet the army, then we can talk about a plan. But instead, he and the army just melted into the ground.
Okay.
I
So
don't.
I think
I can't speak to his actions, but I can speak to his state of mind.
What did he tell you? What do you mean his state of mind?
I don't. And I'm sort of new to this whole druidry myself, but I don't know how much you know about woads and what they experience going through life.
Only what he's told us.
But I can say pretty confidently that for the first time in God, his whole waking life, he was terrified recently.
How recently? When? He didn't tell us about this.
Do you know of what? Of
Yeah,
who?
what,
Why?
What happened?
He didn't give me all of the specifics, but it must have been something Vestris did. Her name came up quite often. But I can't, I mean, aside from the things she's already done to the lot of you, I just can't imagine what she would have done that freaked him out in such a manner.
Ironically, he's like the one of us that's like kind of immune to her. At least her like, you know, like main like thing that she does with the whole like blood, like that whole explodey blood thing. She doesn't have any, but like I don't know. He wasn't with us the last time we saw her. It's been a while for him.
When did he? When? How long ago? When? How long ago was he terrified?
This would have been around the time that he came into his archmagedom.
Did Rev ever tell us what Vestris did in the meeting? I don't remember if he did.
I don't remember.
Like, does the
I don't
party
think
know
he did.
that
I
she's
remember you
trying
being
to take
very-
out all the archmages?
No, the whole thing about how she caused the one archmage to just blow up. I don't know if he ever told us that.
I'm not sure that he did either. But there were more people there.
I
The
remember
other person
him.
who's there is dead.
Yeah, he didn't really because after the whole Archmage thing, he hasn't really been opening up about a lot of the stuff that's been going on. I know you mentioned them being there, but you didn't mention any of the drastic things that happened. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think, aside from Cecil, who he took with him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think he opened up with anyone else about it. I think it was mostly just Cecil.
Isaiah,
But
do you
Cecil
know
isn't here.
anything about this Dark Boss and where we can find them? Because all I know is that he was working with a Dark Boss about an army. So if anyone's got answers, it's probably them.
No, I don't really have any connections to the Doc Boss.
I think I might know somebody super fun. I doubt it, but he seems to be getting in trouble all the time, so I wouldn't doubt if he does know anything about it. Hall's gonna go look for his father.
Okay. As you go off to do that, is anyone else doing anything?
I think
We should also see.
Sock's probably just gonna go to the nearest goblin and be like, take me to your leader.
Interesting,
Also-
the alien approach. Okay.
The alien approach.
Sock, since that seems the quickest, as you go up and grab a goblin,
Where's the Dark Boss?
First of all, we only have one direct supervisor above me, and that is the manager.
Take me to the
Maybe like-
manager then.
All right. And he takes your hand, and the two of you walk over to a manager with a clipboard and a like green poker visor. This little goblin looks up and she goes, "Yes."
Who's your manager?
I mean, I'm part of a union. I have a union representative.
Take me to them.
So we only meet on Thursdays.
This is urgent.
Okay, I suppose. She takes your hand, and the three of y'all then go walking further into the market stalls before you see a gentleman, little gentleman goblin sitting at a table that says, "Join the Union, stand united." And as you walk up, he says, Manager Goblin, how are you doing? She says, "I'm doing fine. He needs to see a union representative." And they push you forward and he goes, "Hello?"
Where's the Dark Boss?
I mean, I don't have anyone. I'm part of a council.
That's
a union
fine.
council. Well, I mean, but we don't have any direct superiors. Would you like to speak to another union representative?
You know what? Scrap this. I know someone who can help me. He's gonna go find Speckle.
Okay. As you walk off, just out of the corner of your eye, you see all of them kind of look at each other and nod and smirk. Just,
He rolls his eyes.
As you run ahead and go to the workshop where Speckle is, and there's about 80 goblins. And as you walk in, you kind of see that none of them are doing anything really productive. Like, one's just hitting a block with another block and going, progress. Before waiting a little bit and then repeating the process again. Progress. As you continue walking by, you hear two other goblins going, yes, and the stuff with the stuff. Indeed. Oh, yes, the stuff with the stuff. Even someone as simple in scheming as you are, Sock, you do feel something's a bit up with the sudden increase of all the goblins lately, but you eventually do find Speckle.
Speckle, I need your help.
Sorry about that. Had to move my dog. She goes, Sock, what's up, Dad? I already worked on your sword. I guess I could work on it again. I'm not sure what more I can add. Okay, I suppose. Okay, let me see. And she goes to, like, reach for your great sword.
No, it's not about the sword.
Okay.
Something's happened to my friend. I don't know if you noticed the large Woden army walking out of the city.
Oh, yeah. Very
Do
strange.
you know anything about that?
No?
Because my friend was the one who was leading it, and now he's disappeared, and I don't know what's going on. And all I know is that he was scheming with some kind of dark boss, and if you know anything about that, I need to talk to them or schedule a meeting, because we don't know what's going on, and there are a lot of complicated plans that have just been thrown into the air.
The dark boss, you kind of see, like, a small bead of sweat form off of the side of her forehead. And she goes, just gives you a very crooked, bucked teeth, snaggletooth smile. I don't know any dark boss. And a goblin's like, Speckle, I'm dying. And you turn and you see a goblin with kind of like a red liquid all over him, and two other goblins. One's holding one end of a pipe coming from his torso, and one's holding another end of his pipe coming from his back, as if he's been impaled. You do not smell the scent of blood, but they're going like, oh gosh, he's dying. And Speckle's like, oh, stop. And they run off.
Oh, enough with the antics. I've done my fair share of acting, and I know a bad actor when I see one. All of you, what's going on here?
But within a quick shuffle, everyone kind of like stops what they're doing and looks at you, and Speckle kind of, you can see her ears droop down, and she turns around and she's like, hi, I don't... Sock, you're gonna have to trust me, but I there's some stuff going on that I can't tell you about. It's for your own safety. And she kind of walks forward and puts her two hands on your chest and kind of puts her forehead pressed against your collarbone. She says, please, just drop it, Sock. I know he's your friend, but some dangerous stuff going on. And I need you just to drop it.
Sock, very gently puts his hands on her shoulders and, like, pushes her away very gently and is like, fine. I'll figure it out myself. And he leaves.
As you run down the stairs and kind of look back up, you see Speckle kind of like rubbing her eyes. You make your way out of the adventure hall.
Sock is also rubbing an eye. He's bigly upset.
Hold, you eventually find your dad kind of outside the muddy boots, ale in hand, just kind of sitting on a stool as if he had watched the kind of marching occur with other patrons. It's all kind of outside talking.
Old will shift himself to look.
Gonna shit himself?
Shift.
Probably.
Shift. Like, just change his appearance using the ability that he has to make himself look more like Old for the initial re-greeting of his dad. Hey, do you enjoy the show too?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little late, but you know. Back in my day, we would march left foot first rather than right foot, but you know, new generation whippersnappers.
Yes. Before we go into that tangent for the 100th time, I have a question. You do a decent amount of gambling, yes?
Yeah, I suppose.
Have you ever met anyone, like, throughout your gambling nature of someone known as the Dark Boss?
What'd you say? Like, cut out for me.
Have you ever met anybody through your gambling nature as the Dark Boss? Or heard anything about that?
Dark Boss? No, I don't believe so. Definitely heard of some loan sharks, but none of them going by such a gaudy title as the Dark Boss.
Yeah. I assume due to your habits of getting into not the most pleasant situations, you might have ran into someone.
Oh, good heavens, boy, what do you think I'm getting into?
Dad.
Just a bit of crippling debt, nothing serious.
How much in debt?
Listen. It's the reason why they give us 2 kidneys and a greater restoration spell.
God damn.
I'm just working on getting the greater restoration spell portion. Ain't that right? And he elbows the boar, and in comparison to the boar, you can see that 2 of them are looking very yellow and sickly.
Jesus.
Is good for you. How much in debt are you in?
Hey, not that much. But tell me, boy, do you have a greater restoration spell for the 2 of us?
The two. Do I even want to ask why you're asking me, the 2 of us? Are you about to sell my kidneys as well?
No, I'm talking about me and the boar.
You sold his kidneys.
I mean, I sold mine first out of show of good faith.
I can get you both greater restoration potions.
Hey.
But answer my question.
Okay.
How much debt are you in?
What is debt, anyway? But
Father,
a few favors given monetary value. But since you younger generations always need the numerical values, He puts his hand on your shoulder. I just want you to focus on yourself and taking care of the family.
Dad.
That's all.
Is this the first time he's seen him as a Furbolg?
He hasn't seen him as a Furbolg yet. He currently looks like Hold the Door.
Listen, Hold. I'm chipping away at it. The kidneys helped. Bit of gambling. That's
The reason
all.
I ask is because I want to help my family. You say look after the family. I want to help.
Alright, then maybe you could help with like, I don't know, 7% of it. How about that?
Alright, how much is 7%?
Oh, and kind of elbows the boar, and the boar like opens his mouth and he pulls out a small abacus and starts clicking away at it and goes, he's a bit of a bookkeeper, you know. Alright, if you can't pay it, you can't pay it. But if you can help the lad out with a good 7.5% here, carry the 1 minus the 2, subtract the kidneys, well, I'd say about 63,000.
He just loses the concentration to keep the disguised self and just goes back into a furball.
Oh, good heavens, my boy! I knew the girl spurt would come in. Oh, look at you. You take after your mother. She was tall.
But I died.
Oh, no. You can't be doing that, boy. Listen. Shh.
63,000.
It was for a good cause.
And what was that cause exactly?
Purchased an item off of a fine-looking fella in over there out in the outskirts of town.
A great reason.
What was this item?
Very convincing.
Fine item from a fine fella.
It's a fine item for a fine fella. Listen, it didn't work anyway, but I'm trying to sell it to someone else. But right now, it kind of escaped me, so...
It escaped you.
Yeah, well don't worry, we're tracking it down. I got the best trackers on it.
I see habits do not die.
Listen, I'm just trying, you know me, I'm trying to get a little bit of money, change things over. We're trying to get the rest of our family out of the stone halls. I'm doing what I need to as a head of the household. And I'm gonna find that item, and I'm gonna sell it. Or I'm gonna go and ask the shady guy out back to give me a refund if I can ever find him again.
Can you check my sheet? How much money do I have on me right now?
I don't believe it's 63,000.
I'm just curious how much I have.
96.
1,000?
96 gold, 23 platinum. Which is basically 2,396 gold.
I forgot I spent a lot recently on the armor and stuff like that.
Nice.
I'll see what I can do. I don't have the funds on me now, but I know we plan on doing an expedition soon that might end up being more on the lucrative side.
All right, boy, all right. I catch what you're throwing at me. Well, in the meantime, just keep it in mind if you come across any lucrative offers, you let me know. In the meantime, I've also been able to sell a few things. Little family heirlooms, if you will, little side projects I've been working on. Not bad myself. Giving them to good families and homes, so I've paid off a good bit of the debt.
I forgot, I bought the sword. Was one of them was the sword? Like this one?
A few of them were the swords. No, well, yes. But no, I didn't make that one recently.
One of the armories here.
I did sell that to a merchant, and I see you got it back. Well, good stuff. Well, I suppose that's yours then. I did sell a few others, but...
Father. You know I love you, yes?
And I love ye.
How did you get into this debt? Can you at least tell me that?
I thought I told you. I purchased an item of high value from a gentleman who liked to travel around in the shadows and disappear in flames of smoke and whatnot.
accumulation was just from that single item.
Yes, it did. The item was said to change our situation, and it did. For the worse, though.
Yes. I think tell me what the item is so I can actually keep an eye out for it.
I don't know what the item is. All I know is it was an orb, and inside the orb with a bunch of clinkety rings inside of it.
So an orb. Got it. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, or a nail in a scrap pile. But you know what? It'll be fine. I'll keep my eye out for it.
I thank you.
How's Mother doing?
She's doing all right.
Does she know about the debt?
No, and I prefer we keep it that way.
Oh, I was going to say, how are you even alive if she knew about the debt?
No.
Because you know I'm the level-headed one.
Yeah.
She would have murdered you.
No, we can't let her catch another charge.
Definitely not.
Well,
Alright.
good seeing you, my boy. I have to go and find myself a great restoration potion. Post haste.
Take care of that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know someone who could brew it up.
Yeah, he just picks up the boar and picks up his father. We're going to the potion shop.
Okay. I'll say you head over there and you're able to get your dad and boar away to regrow their organs. In the meantime, what is everyone else doing? As it's still the same day of this event.
Sark's probably gonna go back and find a Taru.
Do I know about Frog Mage?
Yeah.
Was that a yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably go to her and try to get some scrying done on Rev to figure out where he went.
Okay. Pull her open. On approach, you visit her. She says, "Hey, good, welcome. 1,200 gold."
How much per platinum again?
It is 100 per platinum.
Okay. I will hand her 10 platinum and 200 gold. I need you to scry on Revier, my Woden friend, figure out where he is.
Okay.
Y'all wondering where Rev is when you keep calling him Revier. Maybe he just rebelled.
Well, I was giving a full name because
He had enough.
For the purposes of the spell. We always call you Revier.
All right. Do you have a picture of him?
The pronunciation is on his character sheet.
A possession or garment? A body part, a lock of hair, a bit of nail, some fluid.
Wait, doesn't somebody still have his arm?
Someone has his pinky or something, I think.
I'm starting the cast time. What's going on?
I'll be
I
back
still
in
have his arm.
I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it.
Shambhala.
Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna be back with a piece of his body.
Doopity boop. Rumbala.
All right, and then I'm gonna go run, try to find hold,
Doopity day.
and then come back with Rev's pinky.
Show me where this motherfucker lay. And she smacks the frog. The frog opens up its mouth, vomits up into its jaws a crystal ball from its stomach, and it starts to swirl and congeal until basically she takes the hand and kind of sticks in the frog's little nose or whatever, No, she just sets it on top of the orb, and you see off in the distance, in the orb, this crystal ball, Revier and his marching army, marching along towards the walls of Darkbreach.
Alright, he's where we thought he was. Thank you very much for that.
Understood, and thank you for the money.
No problem. I'm gonna take piggyback and then skedaddle out of there. Guess I'll go back home and see if everyone is there.
Okay. Is everyone? I'll say you go there and wait for everyone to get home. Is anyone else doing anything before?
I think
before returning home.
I think when Ataru shows up, Izzy's probably just like sitting on the doorsteps because she doesn't really have any sort of comfort about like going in the house without anyone there.
Oh.
Sock would have invited her in.
Sock, are you home?
I mean, I think he went looking for Ataru, but then just kind of was like, I wait at home.
Yeah, whoever showed up first then.
Yeah, I've been like, come on in.
Okay.
Like tea. Do you like tea? Or coffee?
I could do tea.
I was kind of hoping you would say coffee, but fine.
Why are you better at coffee?
Oh, I mean, how hard can tea be? Really, it's just water and leaves, right?
Should I make the tea?
And Hold comes back to the house with it burning and scorching.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I got it. He puts tea leaves in where the coffee grounds would go. And makes tea like he would make coffee.
Perfect. she drinks some, completely devoid of any indicator of whether it's good or bad. And just says, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
This, this whole situation's gone a bit to shit, huh?
You're telling me we lost Cecil, now we've lost Rev.
You lost Cecil as well.
It's a long story. But yes, he's currently indisposed of. And it's all perfectly horrid timing. Really, I mean, honestly, it's not a good time to be short on people. Yes, no, this was bad. This was pretty bad.
Well, let's I guess wait for the others to get here and regroup with them and see what will be done about all of this.
Yeah.
And then everyone else shows up. And we say, hello!
Slams the door. He's exactly where we think he is. He's marching on Darkbreach right now as we speak. I talked to the frog mage. She showed me a crystal ball. That's why I took the finger from you, Hold. I know I just kind of like while you were talking with your dad, but like, don't worry about it.
Oh, he's not there yet. He'd be the last one to get back.
Okay, so never mind. But
Anyway.
So subscribe to him. We know exactly where he is. Which kind of was a waste of 1,200 gold because kind of already knew, but we have a lot of money, so it's fine. Whatever. It was my money. I don't care.
How far away is Darkbreach? Like, how long until he gets there?
No, he's there. Like, he's marching at the walls.
What?
You know how they like sunk into the ground? They must have like teleported. There's like a isn't there like a druid thing that's like go into tree and like wah? No, yes, sorry. Is it okay if I
What?
call
What was the
you? Or do
question?
you want me to call you Isaiah? I actually don't know what you want me to call you.
Either's fine.
All right, I just want to make sure I wasn't being like disrespectful because I know like Rev called you Izzy, but I wasn't sure if that was like a pet name kind of thing or like if it was like that's just a nickname that everyone goes. Okay. Anyway, I don't probably bring up that. Anyway, but yeah, they're there. Dark Breach is on the coast and to the north, kind of actually near the islands. Like it's like a peninsula, and then like a bit north of it is the islands. If you're curious of like a location of like a place that you've been, and then like where it is, it's far.
So, but so then what's the bloody plan? Because I thought we were taking the army to liberate your islands.
That's what I thought too. But clearly he's not in his right mind.
Obviously.
Something
And
must have happened,
you know
and
what?
he's like, Meh.
I mean, listen, like, Rev is a good friend of mine, but he's acting very abnormal, and it's making me a little bit nervous that he's marching this brand new army to Dark Breach without any kind of warning or plan or anything, and he's acting out of his mind. It's kind of making me a little bit paranoid that something bad has happened.
Oh no, something bad is definitely happening. Because I mean, like when we were like talking to him on the streets and stuff, like he wasn't even like really like recognizing that we were there, talking to him or responding, and he just kind of fucked off. So like,
and he like for the past week or so, he's just been disappearing. Like he didn't come with us.
Yeah, but he was still like himself there. But when we saw him in the streets with the army, he was not like him. He wasn't like him, but shifty. He was just fucking. It was like someone else was piloting his body, right? Did anyone else get that vibe? I got that vibe.
His soldiers shoved me to the ground, which doesn't seem very
Yeah, it's like completely out of
Rev-like to
character.
me.
He's always like talking about how great you are. So I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So I don't think something has touched his mind. Is my guess. Maybe it has something to do with his curse. Maybe the fucking angry druids are taking control back. I don't fucking know.
But I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Negative over here, but like, what if he's marching that army to add to her army?
That would be fucked. Oh my god, that would be so fucked.
Like, that's what I'm worried about right now. Like, he's acting so weird. Like, what if she's somehow got a hold of him, or some kind of weird archmage shenanigans that's going on? I have no idea, but everyone's acting weird. Honestly, I went to go talk to Speckle, and like, there's just a bunch of goblins that are all just play acting in her bloody workshop. She knows what's going on, but she doesn't want to tell us. So there's something going on, and we are very clearly being left out of it.
Yeah, there is.
I can't imagine, after all of this, that for some reason Rev would be... And maybe this can be the only consolation we sort of see here, but I can't imagine, after all of this, that Rev would be in any way helping Vestris.
Oh no, I just don't know if he, like, what if he got taken over? I mean, he seems possessed. What if, like, I don't think he willingly did it, but what if something happened?
Seems I came back in the middle of a discussion.
Yes, we're freaking out, Hole. Please do tell us you have news of something. Although I guess you just went to talk with your dad because, like, but like, anyway. Here's the pinky back.
Figured. Thank you. I figured due to his bad habits of getting into very sticky situations, he might have come across the name of the Dark Boss. Never has. But I swear, if I wasn't related to him... Let's just say I love him, he's very stupid.
Well, we have to come up with a plan. I don't really like there not being a plan, and we were trying to come up with a plan, and now the plan has gone to shit, and I don't want to add more fuel to the fire, but and he like just kind of motions to the calendar. we're running out of time, and we have no people here, and this is not a good situation at all, and now the army's gone, and now Rev is gone, and Cecil's gone.
Well,
Do we have?
I'm
Okay,
not going
I
to
hate-
sugarcoat any of this. This doesn't look good at all. But we still have a goal in mind. I'm assuming you figured out what Rev is. That's why you grabbed the hand. Didn't think you just wanted it for no reason.
What? Yeah. He's marching on Dark Breach as we speak. Like he's out.
He's
yeah,
already
like
there.
It's like he's outside the walls.
Druid magic is insane.
Speaking of
Maybe
druid
I should have
magic,
dove into that more than paladin. Shit.
So guys, like I know Cecil was all like, I think I need to stay here with Jennifer and all that stuff, but like maybe if we like go in and be like, hey, shit's happened, we kind of need you back, buddy.
But the
Like-
only way that we could go talk to him was with Rev.
That is,
Let me-
well,
Wait,
the
wait.
only way to talk to him is if one of y'all die.
But
And then I would have to bring you back to life within a minute. But if I remember right from the conversation that Rev had with Cecil, is that they're not going to return until the time is right. Am I wrong?
so even if we go in there with like some kind of revive spell, it's not gonna. Ugh.
Well, no, I can bring you back, but you only have a minute to propose
Well,
your.
Sock
Problem.
turns to Isaiah like, sorry, there's a lot of
There's been a
mess
lot.
going on.
Going on.
Oh wait, druid
Definitely
magic.
seems like it.
This is a druid. Hey, so like, I hate to ask this, but do you have like resurrection magic that like that can be done after a minute?
Like
I'm
reincarnation, if I believe.
Right. I'm still in the middle of making my character sheet. So
Oh,
we
shit,
shall
this is a full character
see.
swap. Okay.
Yes, meta. We know what a character sheet is. My dad taught me about that.
Right. When I was a young
Yeah, they're very
boy.
helpful. They tell you everything about yourself.
If I remember right, isn't it's resurrection or reincarnate? Reincarnate is what happened to me. Isn't that a level 3 spell? Or I think that's higher actually.
No, that's a 5th level spell. What happened to you?
That's a 5th level, yeah. 'Cause I remember you were trying to do that, but you couldn't for the longest time.
No, what I was trying to do for the longest time as a druid was regenerate. I wanted to give Cassius his arm back.
Oh, it was regenerate.
Yeah, that was what I was going for the longest time.
Heads up, I am home, but I am starving, so I'm gonna be on my phone for a little bit longer because I need to grab some food.
Alright, well,
I haven't eaten all day.
in meta, I'm looking through the druid spell list, and you don't get anything that will resurrect Cecil after that long, but still let him keep his body. So, out of meta, no, we do not really have a decent method that wouldn't change Lindsay's character against her will. Well, I guess reincarnate does require you to be willing, I think.
I think so.
But
Well.
it turns, yeah, just.
Yeah, it requires them to be willing. So that would be moot anyway, because as far as we know, Cecil isn't willing right now. Haha. blah, blah, blah.
So, what are we going to do? Are we going to try to rescue your family, Ataru? Are we going to try to raise another army? Should we try to meet? Should we try to meet Rev in Dark Breach? Like, what?
First things first, in my opinion, we should deal with the full moon, yes? And then after that, for now we can talk. But if we start doing stop shushing me, because it's a valuable thing that we have to focus
I
on.
know, but
if
not
she's
around.
Moon.
He like vigorously eyeballs Isaiah.
Fine.
Look, if she's sticking around, it's gonna happen one way or the other.
It's gonna happen. Isaiah, do you plan on sticking around and helping us with rescuing Rev or any of the situations that plan on happening?
No.
To... The voice in the clouds told me no.
Sorry, it's very front, but Just asking, do you plan on sticking around?
If you'll have me, I'd certainly like to figure out what happened to Rev.
I have
There,
I have
see?
no problems with it.
We could definitely use the help.
We really could. So, Sock, are you okay with this being talked about? Because if they're gonna stick around, it's gonna happen.
Mm,
They might have some insight.
mm.
Come around it when you're ready. We still have some time.
Just best not to blindside her in 4 days.
That is true.
And then keep your secrets.
Look, I get that this is weird, but it is also kind of like a personal matter for him. So it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
For now, future plans. Shit, I have no
Back to the
clue.
fucking drawing board. Okay, so the most sensible thing would be to go and, try to figure out his shit. So we would probably after the whole deal, we should probably. God, I scried too early. We should have waited because then we don't know what his situation is going to be in 4 days. We have the money to do it again, so it's whatever. So we'll check up on him before we go and figure out what we're gonna do with that information. My guess is he's still gonna be laying siege to Darkbreach. We'll see how well it's going. Then gotta have some way to like talk to him or kind. He had that weird stick in his hand. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe we need to like get that stick out of his hand.
Can you possibly draw a picture of it?
I'm
I don't know
not
if
great
you
at
remember too much
drawing,
about
but
this.
I can do. Did you not? He had like a rod in his hand. Did you not see that?
So here, let me attempt to draw it out. Then, can you describe it?
It's a stick. It's a rod. I don't know how to get more. I don't know how to get more like description.
I didn't know because you're pretty keen on noticing details, so I figured you would have saw like more than what I could have seen.
What would I have seen of the details on that rod?
What kind of details have you seen on the rod?
Yeah.
It, just looked
I'm
like
trying to
it looked like he was holding a wooden stick.
Oh, okay. If it was, okay.
It was a wooden stick.
Then I mean I know one. I can at least go try and talk to Tiffany to see if she knows anything about this. Then she is pretty knowledgeable in this. She can be pretty knowledgeable in this subject. Maybe she knows something about what this rod might have been.
Not a bad idea. I think in the meantime I will return to the drawing board because I really can't leave my people hanging. I'm gonna try to see about who I could scrounge up or what doors we could knock on, what favors we can ask for building up a force. That'll just be put on the back burner.
So,
Again.
I don't mean to butt into y'all's affairs necessarily, but how far away is this Darkbreach place? Is there any chance that we could intervene if he's currently marching on it? Or would it be better to handle... They said your family was in trouble?
Yes, my family. That's kind of part of the reason why we're trying to get an army, is that Vestris is currently attacking my homeland and destroying my people.
The only
They
problem
have my
is that
family
it's
captured.
very
and-
far away.
Yeah.
And this army originally
further than
was,
Darkbreach.
at least what we thought, was to, go get her family. Isn't Darkbreach on the way to your isles?
Yes, it is.
So
Kind of.
I think because I do feel like we are severely limited in resources right now, I think we have to go to Darkbreach. I feel like we have to go get Rev.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of people that I could call on right now. I really don't think I have anyone right now that we
I
could
don't
use
either.
to get your family. Other than like, you know, us just going ourselves for like a smaller party, but
That's what we tried before. It specifically wouldn't work, so that's why we came back.
but I think maybe I think I know waiting is excruciating, Taru, given, you know, the urgency, but I think we have to
No, I know.
wait
I
a
know.
few days and see what is actually happening at Darkbreach, like if the army is doing anything, or if we need to try to rally enforcements, or you know, maybe Rev came to his senses and or something, you know.
No, I know. I know. We have to wait. That's like I said. Just we'll check up on the end after the 4 days. To keep myself busy, I'm going to ask around and see what kind of support I can muster. Maybe just put something up at the fucking Adventurers Guild and see if anyone responds. See if we can get any kind of help.
Yeah. Isaiah, as for like what's going on, this is very kind of a big secret. Well, I don't know. It's just very personal, but I have a curse that is very problematic. Then yes.
Okay, fine. Yes. Rev told me.
Wait, you already knew?
What?
Wow, talk about him keeping secrets.
Yeah, wait, that's kind of fucked up.
Well, listen,
He's
we've been
out-
together
he's
for quite
out.
some time now, and dealing with Richard? Rick?
Ricardo.
Ricardo?
Yeah, that's what we've been calling him. Yes.
That's been sort of a major event within your group.
Yeah, but like outing.
It was bound to come up sometime or another.
Sock is stunned.
That's kind of like not his business to like air out other people's laundry. That's not. Rev.
But it's like it's also like
No, I get it. It's a lot, but like I don't know. It just feels uncomfy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to take away your ability to reveal it to me. I just also don't want it to be a thing that stands between us. It's not a big deal. Well, it's a big deal, I'm sure, to you, but I want you to know that, like, in my eyes, it's not. I don't know how to phrase that.
No, yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it's yeah. I think Rev just trusted me in some sense, and while I appreciate that trust, certainly it's been broken now.
Well, you and me both.
Whew, this is awkward. Okay. So yeah.
Mood. What is everyone in the mood for? I can make a big feast. What are you guys in the mood for?
Maybe a small feast.
Well, shoot out some ingredients. Shoot out some ideas.
I mean,
And
technically,
he already put.
you're cooking for more people now. Technically.
That is true. Puts out a cup of coffee for Sock, and don't worry, I already put everything in it that you like. All right. How about meat, vegetables, potatoes? Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me go to the market because I used a decent amount of it earlier.
It's a real shame that all the Onis have left and gone back home because I could really go for some sushi right now.
Hmm. Well,
Sock, how about you come with me? Maybe we could pick out the dessert, yes?
Sure. Okay.
Alright, let's go!
We go.
you go and you acquire yourselves some dessert and have yourself a nice homely meal, meat and potatoes. What kind of dessert you grabbing?
Tiramisu.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
It'd be the first time Holt would have it.
You find out that Sock is actually super good at baking.
Ooh.
It does have coffee in it, doesn't it?
What is this,
Tiramisu. It's it's like a cake that's dipped in coffee with like cream and cocoa and stuff. My mom used to make it a lot, actually.
It's really good. Yeah, I don't really get to normally enjoy coffee because it upsets me, but
It's not a lot of coffee.
yeah, but it still has like that taste of like the smell of it, and it's like it's not bad. Big fan. So like, can this be like a normal thing that you start making? Because like, how have you taken this long to make it for us?
Well, you never asked for it.
Well, I didn't know to ask for it. Now I know to ask for it.
I mean, it's not like a normal flavor. I didn't know. I mean,
By the way, I love that it kind of like the things that you make, where it's like on one hand, gruel. On the other hand, very nice fancy coffee dessert.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
Like,
it is honestly
you
a
have-
little
you ha-
surprising to learn
have
that you
no
know how to
in-between.
bake.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you have no in between. It's weird. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I like to consider myself very versatile.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. Mhm.
Besides, when would I ever have an opportunity to make tiramisu in the military?
It's a good point. That's a really good point.
Like, it's not really a place to flex.
Mm-mm.
Well, as the day rolls on and the night begins to set in, the evening rain starts to drizzle down. A calm and cooling deluge as kind of its gloomy aspect matches and attempts to counteract the upbeat planning of the crew. As the day dwindles into night, what is everyone doing for these next few days leading up into the fullest of moons?
Probably gonna do what I said and try to make some postings at the Adventurers Hall, just try to ask around with it. Like, do I have the ability to just like be like, hey, oh my god, I'm drawing up like, hey, foreigner, like, how would we go about gathering people for a thing?
I would say you'd find out that it would require a down payment as a listing, and then put up a posting about what you're trying to do with as honest clarity as possible, and then see who signs up.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
And you're having it to do what?
Give me some time to write out what I would put on the posting.
I mean, what's the general gist of it? And I'll have you
The
roll
general
persuasion.
The general gist is explaining what is happening on these islands. What we need the people, what we need people to do, basically, to fight off the invaders in just one province, so we can take control back and mount an offense on our own.
Okay.
And then there's a reward just basically for that rescue option to give us back control of our own military.
Okay. Put I would say give me a persuasion roll.
I'm not good at
Roll.
these. Here we go.
Roll me persuasion. Okay. I'll say you post that up, and in a few days they will let you know if anyone has taken the listing.
All right. How much was the down payment?
Down payment is gonna be 200.
Oh, that's not bad.
In the meantime. Oh, what are you doing in these coming days?
Hold is going to go talk to Tippities for now. And then depending on how that conversation goes, depends on what I'm going to do next, because I have an idea.
And you're asking her what?
Pretty much going to describe what I saw with that was going on with Rev, and seeing if she has any inkling of what might be the cause, kind of describing how I saw a stick in his hand, and next thing you know, there's just a giant Woden army. Just kind of going into the most details possible about what was happening in that event.
I would say she would tell you generally if there were magic involved, there would usually be some sort of underlying aura to it.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's no real way to know without someone with a discerning or trained eye.
Okay.
And that, if at best he's probably just being influenced by an outside source, but even then, most enchantments do not last very long if they do offer such a complete control.
And I would ask her after that, do you have any advice when going into the Druid Forest? I think I might head over there and see if I can talk to, I believe, the one who watches the forest. See if she might knows anything what's going on.
No.
Not at all?
No advice.
Do we know her name or no?
I don't think you know her name.
I didn't think so. All right. Well, I appreciate your time like always.
And then you're, in the next couple days, heading into the Druid Forest?
I'm gonna head to the Druid Forest and see if I can find Nessa.
Okay.
Not knowing what the fuck he's doing, he's just wandering around looking to see if he can find the guardian of the Druid Forest, pretty much.
Okay. You do enter in, and unbeknownst to you, Mayfair is not there, but Nessa is there tending to her grove and the various animals.
Hello there. Do you think I can talk to you for a second?
He, with a hand wave, ushers you to approach.
First of all, my name is Hold the Door. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I am Nessa Brightthorn.
Oh, I've heard the name mentioned before. You're the one here. I've heard your name mentioned around the town. I believe one of the great heroes.
very gently. Yes.
So don't want to waste too much of your time, but a situation has come up in town involving one of our friends, Rev, a Woden.
Ah,
Don't know
yes. I am familiar with him.
Oh. Well, this makes it a little easier. Randomly, was it, a couple days ago, he's raised an army of other woads and just left to go attack an enemy of ours and was carrying like a wooden stick, which I know it sounds weird describing it, but it seems like it wasn't all there. It seems like he was on sort of enchantment. It seems like druid magic, so I wasn't sure if you'd know anything about it.
Well, there aren't any druid magics that addle the mind like that, or control anything. And it was not suddenly for us. He had come to us and spoke about it.
Oh. So the army itself was already planned and was planned?
In some sort, yes. Some dealings between him and Mayfair and a few others, but it looks like he succeeded and then went ahead with it. I do not know much other than I happened to be here when the first meeting took place, as I am hosting the Wayfair Wanderers.
Well, sadly, it seems that something involving that may have corrupted his mind a little bit, because originally it was get the army and converse with us and head out together. But he just headed out directly.
And he didn't tell you of the army?
He mentioned getting an army. Not how, not by who, not by what sense. Just mentioned there would be an army the following day, which was the day of when we saw the army.
Understood.
It's been a little distant with us lately.
And how do you know it is of the mind-controlling variety?
Upon taking a look at him, his demeanor, his behavior was very unnatural to how he usually behaves or acts in these type of situations. He seemed to ignore us when I attempted to get his attention. Instead of allowing us to talk with him, he reinforced that side of where we were to keep us from getting to him. And then when his girlfriend or his partner was attempting to talk to him, he did not stop the other Woden soldiers from pushing her to the ground, from keeping her to get to him, which is very unusual. He's typically a very kind and gentle soul.
Nessa, who is in the process of lifting a bird up to its nest, kind of sighs and says, I know a few people that would go to such lengths in order to provide the best chance of success, and their minds were not addled, nor were they under any influence. Perhaps, since this information seems to have been kept from you for quite some time, perhaps it is the determination in order to succeed that has caused them to act such a way. As with all stubborn-headed individuals, sometimes it is best to close off their emotions, give away rationality in order to be a spearhead to their goals. As Rev was in sound mind and body when he was making all these plans with Mayfair.
And I understand the necessity of doing so. I guess hearing it from an outside perspective adds a little bit more clarity to it. I appreciate it.
Nods her head.
This is quite a beautiful forest. Can't believe it's taken me this long to come over here and see it.
Many people take the forest for granted, especially when it surrounds them in all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like this always, but I've done my best to grow it.
And it might be a story for another time. The information you've provided, I need to go inform the rest of my party members. I do appreciate your time.
Understood. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. And he'll head back to House Sugma Kappa and just wait for everyone to be there.
So I could probably be at the Cum Ranch for like a hot minute.
I always forget.
Tending to
Cum
the
Ranch.
animals. Feeling a biggie feel.
Well, then that night at least when Ataru gets back, he'll share that information with her.
Sorry, share what information?
About like talking with Nessa,
Okay.
and just the conversation
Yeah, okay.
about how he planned this out with somebody named Wayfair.
Got it.
Okay. Then the days linger on. The anxiety of the coming transformation looming over you, Sock. And in final preparations, what is everyone doing?
To Cum Ranch.
Yeah, to come ranch to prepare for the inevitable.
Got his wolf's bane.
Hole doesn't have
Yeah.
the money to get. So I think, do we still have silver and stuff with us?
Yeah, I thought we still had the silver chains. Like, did
Oh,
anything
okay.
happen? Did anything happen to the silver chains?
Not that I remember. I mean, my armor has silver on it too, so that helps.
Didn't we get like a spiky collar or something? Or am I making something up?
We get him get Richard like a correction collar where he just get like hey like the spikes.
Oh, the invert,
Ow,
yeah.
boy.
Yeah. Just gotta give him a little collar checks. Be like, hey, stop misbehaving.
We end up taming and training Richard.
Maybe I need to make Richard a zap collar.
A zap
An
collar?
inverted silver spiked zap collar.
Oh, again, the
Silver isn't the
Frogler.
best conductor of electricity, but you know.
Just the spikes on the inside would be silver. The rest of the collar would be just regular metal.
Actually, is silver a good conductor of electricity? I actually don't know.
It's not the most conductive, but it is.
Silver has the highest electrical conductivity of all metals.
Oh,
Aha. Then the reason they don't use it because of the cost.
In
know
fact,
why
silver.
silver is in, like,
fact, silver
circuitry?
defines silver design. No, it's copper. It's mostly, or no, not copper.
Copper is
Gold.
mostly used.
Wires. Copper's wires.
Gold. Copper and gold are the two most used.
I think it's because silver has a high melting point or a low
Mhm.
melting point. I think that's it.
It does come down to melting points and stuff like that. That's why copper and gold is used. Well, it's usually gold mixed in with copper.
I love it. Silver defines conductivity. All other metals are compared against it. So I was entirely, completely wrong. But Ataru would know that.
No, just don't get struck by any lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then. I'm trying to find the The Cum Ranch map.
It died with Cecil.
No, stop that.
What would happen if you put Richard in the middle of the swarm of capybaras?
Oh. There is a tree in the middle of the field. We could try that.
Just have a
Is that something you wanna try?
A
I
linked
don't want to
circle-
try that.
a linked circle of capybaras that are all just staring
You're just
at the tree.
staring at Richard.
But also, I feel horrible if you killed one.
Yeah, exactly. We are honor bound to defend these capybaras.
That is. Yeah.
Oh wait, Izzy hasn't been inducted into the capybaras yet.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's gonna be a bit tragic.
Let's get that out of the way real quick.
The cappy what? And just
As you guys are walking towards, you guys walking towards with Izzy, there's various capybaras that are just kind of like on top of the house, on top of the stables, looking like sticking their noses through the picket fence. And upon approach, go ahead and roll wisdom. Wisdom saving throw.
3 seconds. I'm in the editor right now.
Okay.
Yeah, while walking up, Holt's like, oh shit, I almost forgot. Oh yeah, by the way, we watch after these things called capybara.
Mm,
They're
nervous.
adorable creatures, but
Yeah,
Yes.
very.
They-
It can be rude.
there's a
Just-
bit of an induction process. It's kind of like hazing.
Are
Kind of brutal.
you comfortable with who you are and your past and everything?
Yeah, that helps a lot actually.
Sure.
All right, then you just be no problem at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep
Great.
an open mind, and don't let anything they say get to you.
Just remember that it's a defense mechanism of theirs, and then like once you get through it, like they're not gonna like it's not gonna be like that anymore. It's just a real quick like, hey, are you confident enough in yourself to do this? And then it's like, yeah.
Just
Am I
whatever
guiding
you do.
myself?
And
Whatever
if you
you do-
don't, you might bleed from your eyes and your ears.
Oh yeah, no, it is definitely psychic damage.
Whatever you do though, don't let them win.
Don't let them.
Don't let
Like,
them
if
tell
we-
you who you are.
You're gonna go up to them. You're gonna want to pet them. That's what you have to do. Keep going.
It is a great goal. It will feel great after you get it, but there's just a bit of a
If you
like.
do not
There's just a bit of agony
succeed,
before.
if you do not succeed, we don't know what happens, but I don't know if we want to figure that out.
But when you succeed, you're immune to it for the rest of your life.
Great. Well, here goes nothing.
Oh.
Any chance I had advantage on that?
You get plus.
I'd like to add my D4 from guidance.
You get +4 because you're
Plus
next
4,
to
what do you
me
mean plus 4? Oh,
because of the aura given off hold.
plus 8.
Yeah,
Does
adds
it count as that?
adds charisma,
That's
adds charisma
17.
modifier to saving throws.
Hell yeah.
As you
almost giving her a pep talk count as the help action.
As you step forward, the room around you, the world falls dark. And it's just you and a capybara staring at one another. And you feel a twinge on just kind of the front lobe of your brain. Capybara kind of takes a step forward before taking a step back as you feel a vibration at your hip. A soft hum. The book. And the rest of you watch as suddenly a capybara just and flops to the side, just fast asleep. Just Isaiah, you sense nothing as the world fades back into color. and you're able to approach the capybara, kind of staring at you questionably with their soulless, peaceful eyes. The books,
Wasn't too bad.
humming and resonating vibrations start to ease and then disappear.
She picks one up and starts petting it.
Huh.
She handled it better than I did. Oh,
Huh.
we have a new winner then.
Well, that's no fair.
Maybe I'm just good with animals.
Huh.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We can put that to the test tonight then.
Oof.
Oh dear lord, I hope not.
Bit of bad taste, but you know.
That made me feel very icky.
My apologies, I did not mean it to come out rude, but maybe they know something that could help.
Yeah, so you just have to, like, chop off my head, right? Wrap it in silver.
That worked before, yeah?
I mean, if I get out, which, knowing
Knowing Richard, it will
knowing
happen.
Richard, he's a resourceful little bugger.
I do actually want to attempt to talk to him this time. It seems that he's not a fan of Vestris either.
And there is that other werewolf that was wandering around last
That is
month.
true.
Yeah, actually, and there was that. Yeah, that was the time when he was like kind of like helping us like a homie and was all like responsive and shit.
And he's helped us when we've been around Vestris.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
He can apparently speak. He just doesn't want to.
I mean, he could cast magic, so I would have to assume that he could, you know.
It's also a little unfair.
Is he? Is it
Yeah,
Dizzy
he
or
is.
Isaiah?
It's really whichever one.
Do you have the ability to talk with animals? I don't know if you've learned that with your druid studies.
Doomy doomy doom. Doomy doomy doom.
It'd be the spell Speak with Animals.
Which is a first level spell,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
which
mean,
I
technically
currently don't have.
yeah, but with a long rest, she can just prepare it. So like the answer is yes, but it's just like, is it currently available? Probably not.
No.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no here,
Okay.
at least for now.
I mean, he
Because
doesn't.
I'm asking you the day of. If I asked you the day before, you could have prepared it and stuff.
But I mean, like,
Um,
homeboy talks can talk in like normal, right?
This might
Has he
just
talked to
be,
us before?
does he understand common?
You don't know.
Because I know he understands me. Because Hold's talked with him several times, has said some things that have pissed him off more than he already was.
I mean, he's spoken to me before.
Mhm.
But, I mean, we don't have, you know, like long conversations. It's not great.
Or
He's not a
maybe,
conversationalist, I'll tell you that.
well, maybe you might be the only one who can converse with him then. Probably
don't
while
know.
we're keeping him from going on or getting away from us.
Part of me is just you know, I don't know, drop me off in the middle of absolutely nowhere, let him go crazy for a while, and then I don't know, come find me. I don't really want any of the rest of you guys getting hurt or dying.
Don't worry about it. This will be fine.
You say that every time.
And guess what? It's fine every time.
Yes, and now we're down people, and it's
That's not because of Richard, though.
I'm very stressed.
It'll be fine. Trust in the hold the door that trusts in you. I mean, I have new silver plate armor that all I have to do is bear hug them, and I should be fine.
Well, get it over with. Takes his shoes off. Jumps in the hole.
As you hop in the hole and the rest of you kind of gain into your positions, what plans do you have in store?
Well, I assume we're doing our normal tie 'em up with the chain. Did we have anything else?
Not this time.
This is why I'm feeling a little bit worried.
Well, because we were gonna
no plan, no people, no guns.
We were gonna do the capybara thing, but then you guys brought up about how it'd be a chance of hurting them. So.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I would chain, put him in hold. That's what I got so far. Okay. All right. Cool beans.
We'll be fine.
Oh, and with that, however,
In the power of the words of Horde, we'll be okay.
I think we should end it here because this is a good stopping point.
All right.
This is a good stopping point because a lot's gonna go down in this bit.
Okay.
In a good way?
Also,
No.
completely blindsided with this character swap. Was not expecting it.
Space here.
is this like a long term thing? Like you're getting tired of playing Rev, or like?
No. It's less of like I was tired of playing Rev, and more like I thought this would be a really interesting quote unquote betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
And something that like fit in line with his character. So like to flesh it out a little, that thing with Vestris was the first thing that had terrified him in hundreds of years.
What?
And so, with her blowing up a child.
Okay, that's what I thought it was meta-wise, but that's why I asked. Did he ever tell us that?
Yeah. He opened up to Cecil about it, but he hadn't opened up to anyone else, and now him and Cecil are gone, and so it's sort of like a mystery, which was unintentional. But yeah, that whole thing like freaked him out, and basically all he cares about in this world are his friends. And he was like, well, they have blood, and I don't, and so maybe me and non-blood people could go take care of this Vestris thing to save my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was about as far as his line of logic went before he started going down a pretty dark path.
It was, I'm going to sacrifice myself for my friends because I care about them, and now some other shit's happening.
Less he's going to sacrifice himself, more he's willing to sacrifice anyone else.
Ooh.
Oh.
So that's where the whole
The
1,000 goblin genocide came from.
Yeah. That was nuts to hear that. I was like, Rev's going off the deep end.
I don't know. It's sort of up to y'all if y'all think he's too far gone or not by the end of all this, but he's gone for now and leading his army into battle.
Well, meta-wise, it's crazy. All we know is that Rev just made an army out of nowhere.
And
Acted as if we didn't exist. And just fucking dipped off. The only thing
He did leave y'all a letter.
We
might read that letter next session.
That is true. You did leave a letter in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Hold hasn't had a chance to start brewing, so he's had no reason to go down there.
Right.
But I can come up with a reason. Probably like searching around
That's
your
okay.
place. Maybe you left something that could have, like a notebook or something.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up within the next like couple of sessions. But
Right now, more pressing
that'll be sort of
matter.
the in-universe explanation.
Yeah.
Everyone, say bye to your future selves.
Goodbye, future self.
Goodbye, future me. I love you. This icon's gonna be different next time. Hee hee.